Harry's own family just exposed him, and they used 4 words to do it. Picture this. You're Prince Harry. You've just done an interview telling the entire world, on camera, on ITV News, that you will always be part of the royal family. Bold statement. Brave statement. The kind of statement that needs the people around you to nod along. Instead, your cousin's husband goes on a podcast and tells millions of listeners that he remembers you, quote, when you were fun. Past tense. When. Not Harry is fun. Not Harry was always such a great guy. When he was fun. As in whatever version of Harry exists right now. That's not the one Mike Tindall is talking about. And here's the thing that makes this so much worse than just a throwaway joke. Stay with me, because this story is not what you think. For anyone who needs a 30-second refresher, Mike Tindall is married to Zara Tindall, who is Princess Anne's daughter, which makes her Harry's first cousin. These aren't strangers at a press conference. This is family. This is someone who sat at the same Christmas dinner table. Someone who knows where all the bodies are buried, figuratively speaking. Before Harry stepped back from royal duties in 2020, he and Mike were reportedly solid. Lads together. Rugby banter. The kind of easy, uncomplicated friendship that royal life occasionally, miraculously, produces. That image? It's quietly been replaced by something else entirely. So here's my first question for you, and drop your answer below because I genuinely want to know. Do you think Mike meant this as a harmless joke, or was he saying something the rest of the family can't say out loud? Comment below. I'm reading every single one. Because the answer to that question changes everything about what just happened. Let's go back to April 24th of this year. Harry is in Ukraine. He's doing important work, visiting people he's met before, supporting causes that genuinely matter to him. And in an interview with ITV News, he says something that clearly needed to be said, at least from his perspective. I will always be part of the royal family. Direct. Unambiguous. Almost defiant. And you understand why he felt the need to say it. Because for the past 2 years, the narrative around Harry has slowly shifted from rebellious royal to something that sounds a lot more like quietly irrelevant. Invitations not coming. Relationships cooling. The distance between him and his father, between him and William, now described by multiple sources as basically non-existent communication. He needed to plant a flag. So he did. But here's what nobody's talking about. That flag got pulled up almost immediately. And not by the British press. Not by a palace spokesperson. By someone at his cousin's wedding who apparently remembers a completely different Harry, the Hay Literary Festival. Powys, Wales. Mike Tindall is doing a live recording of his podcast, The Good, The Bad, and The Rugby, with co-hosts James Haskell and Alex Payne. They're talking about Tindall's 2011 wedding to Zara Phillips. Fun memories. Big personalities. And Haskell is getting teased for somehow not embarrassing himself that day, which apparently was considered a minor miracle. Then Tindall adds, almost as a throwaway, that a lot of other people managed that way better than you. And then he says it. Like Harry, when he was fun. The audience laughs. The co-hosts laugh. And somewhere, I'd imagine, a publicist's phone starts buzzing. Now, to be fair, and I want to be very fair here, Tindall is clearly referring to 2011 Harry. Party Harry. Pre-Meghan, pre-Spare, pre-Netflix Harry. The Harry who could show up at a wedding and apparently be the most memorable person in the room for all the right reasons. But think about that for a second. When you add, when he was fun, to a sentence about someone who is still alive and still very much in the public eye, that's not nostalgia. That's a verdict. Here's my question for you, and I want brutal honesty in the comments. Is the fun Harry era actually gone, or has everything around him just gotten too heavy for fun to survive? And then, silence. Because nobody on that podcast corrected him. Nobody said, oh, he's still great. The comment just landed, got a laugh, and moved on. Which in some ways is more devastating than any dramatic confrontation could ever be. Now layer this on top of everything else happening around Harry right now. Reports this week say A-list Hollywood figures, people the Sussexes spent years cultivating relationships with, are quietly creating distance. Oprah, according to one source, has been long-arming them for some time. Kris Jenner. Lauren Sanchez Bezos. The kind of names that, when they step back, everyone notices. And then there's Meghan. Solo trip to Geneva. Sources claiming she now believes she appears, quote, more powerful on her own. That Harry's presence pulls attention back toward royal drama every single time. And resurfacing now from Harry's own memoir, Spare, is the story of Meghan's very first Trooping the Color in 2018. She makes a joke to Kate. Kate asks what she thinks of Trooping the Color, and Meghan responds, colorful. One word. Meant to be charming. Meant to break the ice. Harry describes what followed as a yawning silence that threatened to swallow us all whole. It's almost poetic, because right now, that same yawning silence seems to be spreading outward. From the palace. From Hollywood. And now, gently, from Family. Here's what this actually means, and this is my opinion, clearly labeled as such. The Mike Tindall moment matters not because of what was said, but because of where it was said and who said it. This wasn't an anonymous palace insider. This wasn't a tabloid source with an agenda. This was someone inside the family orbit, speaking casually, in public, with zero apparent concern about how it would land. That kind of casualness is its own message. When people are protective of someone, they choose their words carefully. They hedge. They pivot. The fact that Tindall felt comfortable enough to make that joke and move straight onto a crack about Prince Andrew suggests that whatever social consequence might once have existed for saying something like that about Harry isn't really there anymore. Fan reaction online has been genuinely split. Some people think Tindall was being affectionate, a "we miss the old you" rather than a "the new you is worse." Others are reading it exactly as it sounds, a quiet write-off from someone who knew him well. And here's my third question for you. Do you think Harry will ever publicly respond to moments like this, or has he learned that engaging only makes it worse? Drop your take below. One thing I'll flag as unverified, industry insiders in the royal commentary space have suggested that Harry's team has been quietly exploring ways to re-establish his presence in UK media without reigniting the full royal drama cycle. That is completely unconfirmed. But if true, moments like this week's Tindall comment make that job significantly harder. Because the "when he was fun" line is the kind of thing that sticks. It's quotable. It's repeatable. And it just became the headline. Next week we're going deep on the AMA Awards fallout, because what happened Sunday night in Las Vegas between Taylor Swift and Sabrina Carpenter's fan bases is going to break the internet. And I want to be the channel that was ready for it. If you want that breakdown the morning after it airs, subscribe right now. Not for me. For your own timeline. Pin your answer to the Tindall question in the comments. I'll be replying to the most interesting takes personally. And I'll leave you with this. Harry said he will always be part of the royal family. Mike Tindall remembers when that meant something different. The question is, does Harry?